go. Starting live also on the Instagram. Let's go, guys. So here we go. Gonna mute. Yeah, this is muted here. So guys, today we are live and we are in for a great one. I've got a great guest, but I'm not gonna share with you the secret guest for today. I've been hoping to do that with him for a long time. He knows. And first, I'm going to introduce you the subject of the show. For anybody that's in sales or that's an entrepreneur that needs to know about sales more, this show, I made this specifically for you guys. I'm just going to share my screen so you can know what I'm talking about because it's better with a slideshow, you know. Okay, partager. Here we go. So, let's start right now. The title of the show today, guys, is how you can maximize your sales results. How can you do that? How can you do that? There is many ways you can do that. But you got to know the right knowledge. You got to have the right knowledge. And today I'm in for a great one. First, I'm going to quickly introduce myself. My name is Gabriel. In case if you don't know, if you're new to the show, I'm the founder of Juliet Media and Juliet Production. We do mainly marketing and filmmaking. That's what we do. We create better branding and specific evergreen online marketing strategies for your businesses. Enough brag, I'm going to go back to the subject of the show, how you can maximize your sales results. And as I told you guys, first, you got to subscribe. You got to subscribe if you never want to miss the best show on earth on sales. We're going to share some bombs today. Make sure you get until the end because I'm going to give you little secrets and little you want to know why? I'm going to give you something until the end. But you got to stay on the live. You got to stay on the show so you can know what it is. So here we go. First, I want to talk about why you should go wide and deep. What does that mean? That's a bit strange for a sales show, you know? What does that mean going wide and deep? I've learned that from Jared Kavochik, actually. I think it was Tuesday. What does that mean, go wide and deep? You know, when you are doing your cold calls, when you are doing whatever is the sales type or marketing activity that you are doing, you have to find the right balance between going wide, which means having a large audience, a large amount of people that you can communicate your message with. And you also have to make it so that you go as deep as possible with those people. For example, I know a guy, I remember his name is Saenz. We do a daily sales writer with Grant Cardone and his team. And this guy is always when he's going, on the show, when people are quoting him, he's always changing his background with something related to the person he's speaking, because he's doing his homeworks. He's a professional stalker. And that's a great thing to be in sales. Not being an annoying stalker, but when you're a professional stalker, when you can go deep and share specific information on your prospect, that's a plus. Also, going deep can be going deep in your follow-up. Another great thing that you can do is not just call the person one time in a day and then maybe call them a second time 1 week later. Call them 5 times a day. Wow, man, that seems a bit harsh. That seems a bit too much, But that's what it takes. Do you know that 80% of the sales, the conversions are actually made between the 5th and the 12th contact? 80% of the deal. If you contact the person one time only, you're going to only get 2% of the deals. Only 2%. Follow-up is key. That's going deep. But if you go deep with one person, you understand that you're not going to get as many results as you wish you're going to get, So that's what I meant by going wide and going deep at the same time. All right. So right now, guys, I want to introduce a little giveaway before revealing to you the guest of today. And I want to share with you something that's great. I spent hours and hours and pretty much thousands of dollars to find the perfect script, the perfect method in order to get some customers. And I would be happy, more than happy to share my progress with you. So please share the stream. If you do so, guys, if you do so, I'm going to share my exact processes, my exact scripts, the thing you need to know in order to make sure that you know and you control the sales process and never been played around again. Okay, let's go. So, interview time. I'm going to introduce you the guest of today's show. And today's show, I'm going to invite you a dear friend of mine, someone that really helps me out in improving myself. His name is Jose, also known as Canadian Jose. He's the CEO of Job Contact, a company that helps you to respond to the people that your company is in contact with 24/7. He's a sales master. He's also World's Novice BW's boxing champion. Man, that's a great title. And it's also, Rebecca. Those guys are apart from the Power Couple Project. Let me introduce you to the guest of today's show, Mr. Jose. What's up, Jose?
Gabriel, bonjour.
Hey, bonjour. Comment ça va?
Ça va bien, mon ami. Ça va bien. Here, a good Canadian has to speak French, of course, right?
Of course. Got to.
There you go. And I prepared special for the appointment today. I got the La Fédération Française. It's funny.
That's what I'm talking about, going deep, guys. The guy is doing his homework,
Oh yeah, but in this case, it's easy because I'm actually a massive fan of French football. I've always loved their soccer team and been to France, so it's really cool. So when you started popping up in the Zooms, I took a liking to you because you're French, right? And I like French people a lot, right? So thank you for the invitation. It's an honor to be here. No problem.
Yeah, pas de souci. And actually, that's something I really see in America, and more in America than in Canada. But I see a lot of people actually like French people, and the French accent in the English language, And I don't see why they like that. I mean, when I'm hearing somebody that's trying to speak English with a French accent, I do not find it pretty.
It's cool. It's because you're like a French James Bond. You know what I mean? So yeah, absolutely right.
Oh, I see. If that's in animation, I can definitely see why it's pretty great. And today, Jose, the title of the show is to actually all the time, 24/7. And I would like to know if you have some tips, a few things, like 3 things that you would recommend the audience in order to maximize their sales results.
Yeah, directly related to inbound or outbound. Which do you prefer, like in terms of?
Let's take inbound first. Inbound
because that's the world that I live in, right? So I don't know if you've ever seen one of the Grant Cardone YouTube clips or him in an interactive boot camp when Grant grabs the phone and he calls somebody. The one thing that typically happens without fail is that someone's gonna not pick up the phone, and the call's gonna go to a voicemail, and the call's gonna go to a full voicemail, right? So when it comes to that world, all you have to do is realize that people are calling you because they want to do business with you. Nobody is calling Gabriel, nobody's calling Paul, myself, Rebecca, Danny, nobody's calling us because they want to just chat with us. Maybe our friends, and maybe in this circle, yes, but a stranger, a potential customer is calling because they want to do business, right? And if you're not answering the call when they're most interested in doing so, you're missing out on gold, right? So it's essential for us as business owners to make sure we let the opportunity live. And by us not answering the call, that person is going to go to the very next business on the list, and they're going to call them, right? So I've worked in marketing for years and years and years, and I've always seen people invest so much in campaigns, so much in exposure, so much in word of mouth equity, right?
Yes.
And then they complain because they're not getting the results they're looking for. The marketer is unskilled. It's everybody's fault. But the truth is,
Exactly.
they're not even
Exactly.
picking up the phone. You know what I mean? They're
Exactly,
not
and that's
even picking
something
up the
that's
phone.
really big in what Rebecca and I do. Like we
Yeah.
can have a great marketing strategy that we know for sure is going to get them some results. But if they don't have the right sales process in place, whatever you're going to do is not going to bring any value to them.
And Gabriel, one step further, even with the perfect sales process in place, if you don't answer the phone, it doesn't matter.
Even that.
You know what I mean? And that's what we do. So basically, when I was in marketing, I used to do mobile, and I focused on mobile because mobile is directly pegged with the activity that one gets in their business. So, for instance, if you have 100 people that come to your business, 50% of them will come through desktop, 50% will come through mobile. So, without changing a single thing about your business, if you optimize that mobile experience, you're going to convert greater. If 200 people come to the website, then it'll be 100 that come in through the mobile, right? So I like working with products that just make sense, and that you don't need to put anything in place. You don't need to spend extra money on advertising or marketing or anything else. Regardless of what you do, whether you have 10 calls that come into your company a month or 10,000, you're still going to miss a certain percentage of them. It's just, that's the way it is, right? So that's why I do this, and that's why I'm always encouraging people to pick up your phones. There's gold on the other end of that phone call, right?
Exactly. And now, what would you recommend in the outbound side of the equation?
Outbound side of the equation, training. Like, you have to be well trained, right? So we do that as well. That's how we acquire new customers. We practice what we preach. We're calling businesses every single day. We have a team that directly focuses on that. You need to be well trained. You need to have a great script in place. You need to work that script day in, day out, work out a proper introduction, of course, a big claim. So what's the reason why Gabriel's going to listen to me? What am I going to do in that moment to catch his attention for a second? Because that's all you're going to be able to do. And that claim shouldn't be something that you try to sell that person with. It should be just enough to pique their interest, just that little bit. And then from there, it's the qualifying question. Hey, Gabriel, let me ask you a question, right? Who's currently picking up all the calls that are coming into your business? And you're hoping that you're going to elicit a response. Now that's not always the case, but you're hoping so. And then from there, you got to put on that's like roller skates on ice. You're going to be like, you don't know what's going to happen. It's rebuttals. It's being able to regain your balance and see if you can, it's the game of selling afterwards, right? So that's
Yeah.
what we do.
Yeah, exactly. And I want to clarify that a bit because I know that's really a great nuance that a lot of people don't really get. You have different goals when you have an incoming call and you are cold calling, you know? And
Absolutely.
for example, when you're cold calling, your first goal is to get time. First, you need to get time before asking for any appointment or anything. People ask for the appointment, but you didn't make it so that the person is like, oh, this is the real deal. I know that I can take an appointment with that person because he's a real deal. Jose,
Gabriel,
can you hear me?
yeah, sorry, I thought it cut out there. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, no problem. I can hear you now.
All right, man. Sorry, I'll just take this out. Yeah,
No problem.
about the clarification between the inbound and the outbound call, right?
Yeah.
It's got a little bit of audio issues here, man.
Yeah, I can't hear you.
Excuse
Really
mon ami. Now
no
you
problem.
can hear me, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
can.
Yeah. So absolutely, right? Like the focus of an inbound and outbound call are completely different. And what you just said, and sorry, I didn't quite catch the rest of it, but yeah, time. You led with time, right? Time's the
Exactly.
most important thing, right?
Exactly.
So the one thing that we
in an inbound call, what is it actually that you're trying to get?
You know what? I mean, it's still the same thing. Like, I guess though, in the inbound call, you're trying to find, what's the problem? Like, why are they calling?
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
they're
Why?
giving you the time. They're giving you the time. Yeah, there you go. The why. Perfect. There you go. See, man, I gotta hire you, my friend. But there's there's something, I don't know. Were you ever on board when Elliot was there? Did you make it to like one of the trainers was Elliot for the Zoom calls?
Elliot, I've heard about that guy, but I never went when he was there. I think I missed him.
Yeah, he's an amazing guy, amazing, amazing. And one of the things he always said in an outbound call, it's problem, time, solution, right? Or
Mm,
sorry, time. No, was it? Yeah, problem, time, solution. Like you still got to uncover the problem so that they give you the time,
yeah,
right? And without the time, you're not going to get the solution. So the thing that you're trying to gain is you're trying to get that time, right? Because that's the most important thing. And unless you uncover a reason for somebody to give that to you, it's not going to happen, right? So problem, time, solution. Check that out. It's one of those things that so many things that we get information on. It's just, you fill up books and books and books of it, right? But yeah,
yeah.
and like you said on the inbound call, it's the why. It's definitely the why, right? Yeah.
You're right, definitely. And yeah, because you know your business and like actually you know actually what's going to happen. Basically, can you do a little reminder of what you do? And then after that, I would like you to share what kind of results you get from doing what you do, and what is actually the thing that you are preventing your customers to do. What are the mistakes you're preventing them to do? Because this is big, man, what you're doing.
Yeah. So what we do again is we help companies, any type of company, answer any missed inbound opportunity that comes their way. So when I say opportunity, I label it as an opportunity because anytime somebody calls into your business or sends you a message, it's an opportunity. It's either an opportunity to sell them something, to give them more information on your product, or to help them as an existing customer. So it's always an opportunity, right? And what we do is we handle their missed calls, their missed text messages, their web and mobile chat, as well as their social media DMs. So
Mm,
anytime that comes into the business and you're not able to answer that, then we do that for you, right? And we do that as an extension of the company. So we're not like a glorified voicemail where it's just like, hey, thank you for calling, ABC company. It's like, hey, thank you for calling, Paul Lucas Music Academy. Like, what can I get you information on, right? Like you really want to connect with the business and provide them, um, the belief that you're one of the employees, because otherwise it just doesn't connect, right? So that's
yeah.
what we do. And as per results, we see, companies we work with, they get 5x, 10x. We have some customers that have, up to like 50x return
Yeah.
on the money they give us, right? We work with some law firms that are paying us $4,000 or $5,000 a month, and they're making six figures on booking appointments and cases that they're able to get from the calls that we're handling, right?
Yeah.
So it's substantial, right? When you think about the average deal a company has, right? Let me
Yeah,
flip this
exactly.
on you, Gabriel. Let me flip this on you. Let me ask you
Let's
a
go.
question.
Let's go.
What's the average customer worth to you? Like, what do you typically do, like in marketing and promotion and advertising? Like,
Mm.
what's your strength? What's the thing that you do best?
I would say my biggest strength is compared to what I do, and I want to keep that sales related because I know this is a
Yeah,
sales related show. What I
yeah.
want to make sure is that I'm going to create something that's really important that I realized in the beginning of my career. And I think I talked to that with Rebecca, is that I saw many marketers just learning about, doing some Facebook ads, things around those lines, social media management. And that's cool. That's important. I'm not
Hmm.
telling the opposite. But the thing is that this is only a part of the whole system. As I talked about before, if you don't have the right sales process involved, if you don't have the right ways to communicate when you actually try to communicate with an audience, if you do not have the right marketing strategy, if one piece of that system is broken, you won't see the results that you're hoping to get. So what I
Absolutely.
decided to do is to inform myself into the whole process. What I mean by that is being accountable, being responsible. Grant actually taught us about that, being responsible for the whole process. So whether it's Facebook ads, sales funnel, but also creating the video, because they are like, okay, marketers like me, my competition is being like, okay, man, like I'm gonna do the marketing strategy, just do a video with that and they do not give you the perfect system. But how much better would that video work if you actually knew what kind of video they need to do and how they can
Hmm.
deliver the best results, you know? So
Absolutely.
that's what I do also because I've got a background in filmmaking and photography. So I don't only know how to make a video pretty, but the most important thing is not about making it pretty. It's about creating a story, uh, giving an emotion, making it so that the person in front of the screen is taking action. That's the most important thing in filmmaking. That's not about making the thing pretty because they don't care. It's just cost a lot of money to rent the gear and you don't get as many results as you hope. The thing is that you need to have a great story behind it. And that's important. Guys, take notes on that. That's also important whether you are selling, whether you are doing a video on marketing, you need to have a great story. You need to have a hook. And that's something that I learned with my marketing mentors, Russell Brunson and Dean Graziosi. You need to have three things: a hook, a story, and an offer, and an irresistible offer. You need to have
Mhm.
something that's grab their attention, like they scroll their feed and be like, oh, that's new. I want to listen to that. Then you have to have a great story. You have to show them that you are the real deal. You have to deconstruct their false beliefs so they listen to you. Because they may be like, oh, that seems great, but last time I tried, you know, for example, let's try network marketing. People may think, yeah, but I don't want to talk to people. I'm not going to have any friends left. My family is going to hate me.
Yeah.
The classic thing, the classic thing. But a story that my mentor Russell actually says is that, hey, man, I totally get you. And then he shared a story that he basically he had a contest to win a Ferrari and $50,000 if he was the best affiliate for, I think it was a webinar software, something like that. And he won the title in 3 days, the three last day of the contest, without talking to anybody because he used a great sales funnel tactic and he
Hmm.
didn't talk to anybody. So all of a sudden, when you tell that person that's in front of you that's listening that story, he's like, oh, you can actually get pretty good results without talking to anybody. So then the false belief fall. So that's the second part, the story. Then you got to have an irresistible offer. If you have a great hook, a great story, but then your offer is like, they don't really see the value, you're not going to get the conversions that you wish.
Hmm.
You need to basically make look like that, man, they are stealing you. If you feel like they're stealing you, you made a great offer. If I want to make it simple. And whatever you do is that you're trying to build enough value so that it's worth 10 times more, 10x, the, the price than you're actually selling it. That's what we do. That's called a one-time offer. And Jose, I'm sure that if you try to remember each times you actually bought something from Grant Cardone or any great gurus like that, if you
Yeah.
think back about that, that's the system that's involved. That's how it
Absolutely.
works. That's how it works. So yeah, that's what I do. I'm basically accountable for the
Yeah.
whole system, the
You
whole
know. You know
thing.
what? You know what I got from what you do? The big picture. You know what I got?
Tell me.
It's probably expensive, right? So like that's what I wanted. Like, so this is what I would talk to you as like a potential customer. I'd be like, all right, Gabriel, I see the passion, I hear the passion, I see the result, I also see the skill, which means this probably isn't cheap, right?
Yeah,
So
that's not.
when people are calling you, especially with your background, cinematography, all these things, you're not doing a $500 video. Your
No.
prices probably range. So let me ask you, your average customer, where do they fall in terms of dollar spent?
Oh, I mean, I've got a lot of different price package depending on what the customer specifically want. But if I try to say for an average, I would say the most typical amount of client I'm getting, it's around like 2K a month,
Okay,
2K to 5K. It's in that in
2K.
that in that range.
So we're talking about $25,000 to $50,000 a year, right? One customer, correct?
Guys, see that's how you sell. Look at this.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? So this is how I would talk to somebody, right? So how many when you're posting all these amazing videos out there and you're visible, how many people are reaching out to you and you're not able to answer live in the moment? Either answer your phone, answer a text, a Facebook message. How many would you guess you're missing out on a month?
Ooh, on a month, I would say like, yeah, around 20 to 30%
Yeah,
minimum, like
dude.
personally.
Okay, 30 people. Okay, perfect. Now, if I were to call you, if 30 people like me were to call you that were interested in your service but not sold, how many of those are you closing?
I would say depends on like if it's a warm call or something like this, but I would say E because I'm going to follow up on them after that. But I can definitely like close at least, yeah, between 1 and 5
One in five out of the 30 or out of 10?
out of the 30.
Oh, 30. Okay, between one and five. Even if it's just one, like let's just go with one. That's 12 sales a year, right?
Yeah,
12 sales a year at $20,000, just to keep it at that. We're talking about $250,000 extra you could be adding in your business if you just had a solution in place where every single one of those people that were looking to do business with you, that called you, that messaged you because they wanted to learn more about your services, was answered within the first 30 seconds. Right? So think of that return on investment. It's
yeah.
massive. It's
Yeah, what,
massive,
what
you
Jose
know?
is actually doing is quantifying the thing. That's actually something that you guys need to do. That's really great tactic. When your customer is having a problem, directly ask, hey, how much is that costing you? And
Yeah.
then you really try to quantify the thing so they can see, wow, I'm missing that much money. Whoa.
And it's true. And a lot of businesses don't realize it because we've just become accustomed to it. It's
Mm.
just okay to miss a call here, miss a call there. And I always equate it to this, like, you know, are you a single guy? Are you married? Do you have kids, or are you single?
Uh, I've got a girlfriend. Not married
But
or
you're
anything, but I've got a girlfriend.
okay. So you've probably cooked macaroni and cheese and spaghetti in your life, right? You've had to
Yeah,
make it quick to eat. Like, when the noodles are ready and you pour the noodles into a strainer,
yeah,
sometimes you don't use the right strainer and some noodles can fall out, right?
I see. Yeah,
Right. So it's the same thing as your business with phone calls. If you're one or two noodles are falling out of the macaroni and cheese or spaghetti, it's not a big deal. But imagine if every single day you ate macaroni and cheese and spaghetti for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner. Now imagine if you had a restaurant that only served spaghetti, for lunch, for breakfast, for dinner. Imagine the tens of thousands of noodles that would be falling through the strainer, right? So
yeah,
what we do is we provide a strainer that catches everything. So nothing goes away, right? And that's the entire system. People just don't see it as a holistic approach. They see it as it's one meal. Like I was having my lunch, a couple of noodles fell in there. Who cares,
yeah, exactly.
right?
You got to
But
see
if you
what's
look at
happening in the big picture.
absolutely right, and that's why I ask people, like, on a monthly basis, what does that work out to? 30. All right, 30. How many are you closing? Maybe one. Okay, great. What's that one deal worth to you? Multiply that by 12, and that's the potential money you're leaving on the table, right? So
Exactly.
and I mean, a lot of that has to do with the training that we receive, because it's made it easier for me to communicate with customers that way, and it's made it easier for me to share the benefit of why a product like mine would be useful for business owners, right? So that's some
Exactly.
sales for you, right, Gabriel?
Yeah, that's some sales. We're talking about sales, guys. That's a great sales things. Like, man, that's great. Like, you know, Jose, let's close on that. Let's close on that great tip. And I want to first ask you before. I always like to like ask to my
Yeah.
to the people I interview, what's one thing, one takeaway you would recommend for people to maximize their sales?
The one takeaway I would say on just not including my product, just speaking in general, is train. Like, always improve yourself. Always find a way to learn more, because the more you learn, the better you're going to be, not just about your business, but learn about how to communicate with people, learn about how to overcome objections, learn about how to not take things personal, right? So invest in a class, invest in a mentor, invest in a program, and that's what I would recommend people. It's changed my business like 180 degrees, right? Just that alone. Just invest in yourself
Yeah,
and invest in knowledge, right? That's what I would say.
training every day is definitely something that's really hard. I get you on
Yeah.
that, guys. But if you train every day, you're gonna see the results. Like, that's just it. Try to train for a marathon like once a week and try to train for it every day. You're gonna see the difference. I guarantee you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's the difference about, getting a personal coach to get you there rather
Yeah,
than just thinking you can get there on your own. And the truth is, we've all tried to get there on our own and we haven't done it. Right. So, I mean, you have to hook your anchor to somebody and just let them drag you until you're able to go on your own. Right.
yeah, guys, you can't make it alone. You can't make it alone. You got to bring some people, mentors, employees, partners, anybody that can help you. You gotta have some support. You gotta have some support, guys. Nobody made it alone. Nobody.
Absolutely. Hey, Gabriel, since I got you here, let me ask you one quick question.
Let's go.
So what do you think about video? Like when is the right time to ask for a call to action in video, since this is your world, right? So I'm posting up videos, I'm doing videos, not of myself. Like I'll repurpose content that like, let's just say Grant Cardone says about how
Mm,
you got to pick up your calls, you got to pick up your calls. So when is the right time to interject that call to action to say, hey, I can help you do that?
exactly. That's a great question because I see a lot of people not really understanding when you should bring some call to action. The thing is, Jose, that it's not when, it's after what. Because let me tell you something, that's something that's I really see a lot of people are doing and that they are missing a huge opportunity on that. I talked a bit about false belief. The thing is, people, when they are trying to sell you, they are telling you about, like, yeah, the tactic. I call that the tactic, the really tactical thing about why it's a benefit for you, why you should do it, all the things like that. The problem is that they have false beliefs, they have things, thoughts. They don't believe in the whole strategy yet, you know. And you're trying to tell them, okay, this thing work, and this thing work. Yeah, but if they don't believe in it, they won't buy. So what I would recommend you to do is to first, before you say a call to action, is to actually sell them through the strategy. You got to sell them on the why. For example, when you're in the field, when you're going to a war, if you tell, okay, man, you the operator, you're gonna go do that, you're gonna go do that, do this, and do that. They're gonna be like, okay, but why? You know, they're not gonna understand why they are doing it, and your efficiency on the battlefield will be, I would say, not really good. But if before doing that, you sell them on, okay, this is a mission. Our goal is to get that, to do that, to go there and do that. And then after that, you tell them, so in order to accomplish the goal, you go there, you do that. You see?
Yeah.
So sell them first on the strategy. Sell them first on the strategy. And how you do that is through a story.
Mhm.
To sell them on the strategy, you got to sell them with a story. For example, if, let's say, because what's happening is that selling with a story is really important because, and that's more marketing and that's more like storytelling and things like that, but I'm going to share with you because that's really important. And I'm going to also share it for the audience. When people have what we call false beliefs, it's often because they have a story that something had happened to them and that they anchored into their mind like, okay, this is why it's bad. This is the reason why I should not do it. Going back to the example of not network marketing.
Mhm.
The person thinking that have a story that something happened to them or somebody told them that thing, you know. So your goal is that the story you're gonna tell them is gonna replace that story that created that false belief. So that's exactly why I told you the story. Like, okay, man, I don't want to talk to anybody when I'm doing network marketing. And then you tell a story like you don't have to talk to people to succeed in online marketing. All of a sudden you're like, oh, the the barrier that you had with that false belief, that story is gone because, oh, I can do it without talking to people, you see? And you got to really find, okay, what's the false belief that people are going to have? You got to dismantle it. And then after that, you can put your call to action. Because you
Okay.
can put a call to action, but if they don't believe in the solution you are going to tell them is right for them, they're not going to take advantage of your call to action.
Absolutely. No, that makes total sense.
It's
Well, I
always about that. Always about that.
check.
Remember, three things: hook, story, offer. Hook,
Yeah.
story, offer. When your ad is not performing, it's either the hook, the story, or the offer. When your landing page is not performing well, it's either the hook, the headline, for example, or the first seconds of the video, the story, what you tell in the video, in the copy, or the offer. Maybe it's not your offer is not attractive enough. In your video, exactly the same thing. It's always like that.
I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna have you look at my videos then, and you can give me some critique on them.
No problem. I'm gonna do that for you, man.
Appreciate it, my friend. Appreciate it.
No problem, my guy. No problem. I'm happy to help you, and I'm happy to have you on that interview because we worked on having you in there for a long time, and I'm really happy to have you because I know that what you sell, what you do is really helpful for people because man, sometimes you don't have the time to answer the call. And that's really important because I'm missing some opportunities. So where can people reach out to you?
Yeah, absolutely. Check me out on Instagram. It's Canadian_Jose. On Clubhouse, I'm very active on Clubhouse with Rebecca. We're under the Power Couple project, as she names it. Just look me up again there. I'm just Canadian Jose. On TikTok, we're starting to do some TikTok too. It's Canadian Jose. On Facebook, find me under Jose Saenz. That's Saenz. And then otherwise, guys, just find me on the 10X World. I'm there. Like, if you want to be found, I'll find you. Put it that way. If you're looking for
Exactly.
me, just throw your name out there and I will find you. I promise I'll find you. Right. And yeah, any business at all that's out there listening and that wants to maximize the efficiency of what they're getting incoming to their business, please reach out to us. Happy to help you guys. We're a 10X company. We're 10X trained. Every single employee in our team does daily training. I believe so much in it. And I just love this community. I found great people like yourself, like across the world. Right. So I'm all about it. So you can find me. And if you don't find me, I'm going to find you. Right.
Exactly. This guy is committed. He's gonna get you. He's gonna get you. I
I'm
guarantee you
going to
that.
get you. I'm going to start. I'm going to start getting people out. Now it's time. It's time. Right.
I'm sure about that, Jose. Thanks a lot,
Yeah.
man.
Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you. Take care, Gabriel.
You too. Take care, man.
Take care.
So, guys, how was it? How did you enjoy that? It was really great. Actually, I really like that time with Jose. Just give me a few seconds. I'm just gonna make sure that the live, I don't know for any reason, it's ended. Oh, you guys on Instagram missed Jose. Guys, I'm really sorry for that. I'm gonna start another one so I can make sure that this thing happened. This thing never happened again. Oh, that's me. Just wait a second, dealing with some technological problems. Right. Let's go, guys. Okay, so give me a few seconds. I'm gonna keep the live going. Then I gotta go. I got some things to do. Okay, here we go. So, here we go. I'm gonna share my screen again. Really like that interview with Jose. That was really great. Q&A time, guys. Q&A time. I want to do a little Q&A time because I know that, I search for frequently asked questions in sales, and I want to answer those because I want to bring you as much value as possible. Here we go. Question number one: how to get comfortable making cold calls? And that's actually a question that's going to be great for me. Man, I'm so not comfortable at all with cold calls. I hate them. I hate them from the bottom of my soul. Guarantee you that. But you know what? That's a great investment, a great investment of efforts in order to get as many results as possible. So how can you can you become comfortable? And then just do some numbers of cold calls. At the beginning, you just got to go through the numbers. You just got to make sure that you do as many cold calls as you can. You got to make sure that you eat your targets. You got to make sure that you go through the fear because you're going to go through some fear. Look, man, like I'm doing a live show. I'm sweating like you don't know how much I'm sweating because, hey, I'm scared, but that's fine. You got to go through the fear. Now, some fear are more difficult than others to go through. I get that. I'm pretty much okay to go do some live videos and things like that. Cold calls are more difficult for me, but you got to go through it. You got to push yourself to go through it. There's no easy answer to that one. Sorry, guys. You got to go through the unsexy. hard work. So, question number 2. How can you stay consistent and hitting your target? And that's really an important one because I see so many people first months, yeah, man, I'm doing good, I'm eating it, I'm doing it. And then after that, man, I don't know why, but something is off. I'm not getting the results I previously got. And I struggle with that. And that's for a simple reason because oftentimes people are getting sold on something bad. What that means is that, for example, they discover the thing and they all of a sudden don't feel as good as toward what they sell as what they did previously, you know? For example, you feel like, oh man, I saw that the customer last week tell me like, yeah man, you just are crooks, you are like taking advantage of people and things like that, and all of a sudden you bought that for any reason. You bought that, you got sold on that thought, and all of a sudden, man, you feel like, man, and then you're not hitting your targets because you bought on something that you didn't need to. You need to be sold on your thing. You need to be sold and believe it from the bottom of your soul, guys. And that's something I really struggled for a long time because you got those false beliefs, as I talked about before. Say, like, hey man, is it really the right thing for me? Am I really that great of a person? Am I really getting results that people like, But you have to go through that. You have to go through that because if you don't, you are not serving and helping the people that you need to help. And that's pretty important. Now, what is the one thing that I can do to increase my sales? That's question number 3. What is one thing that I can do to increase my sales? That's a great question. You can do many things. But if I had one thing to pick to recommend to you, is follow up. Go more deep. A lot of people are calling a lot of people because they are told that sales is just a number games. But you got to put your efforts, the numbers in the right place. What I mean by that is that, as I told you the stat before, but I'm going to share it again with you guys. 80% of your sales are going to be made between the 5th and the 12th contact. And most salespeople, I would say around 60% don't contact anybody more than twice. So that's a huge part of the market that you can get with that. You got to get through follow-up. You got to make sure that you call them. You got to make sure that you had some value. And when I'm talking about follow-up, it's not, hey, just following up, just making sure. Not that kind of follow-up. You got to bring some value. For example, send them a link to an article that you did, to a great video. Hey, man, I just thought about you. I saw that video. Just thought about you. I thought you can get some value out of that. Just calling them to say, hey, man, I just thought about you today, and I feel like I wish you a great day. Things like that. Something's not about the deal sometimes. Sending them a letter, an handwritten letter. Nobody's doing that. You can do it. Doing things original like that. Creativity follow commitments. Commit to doing some great follow-up, and you're going to get some creativity and some ideas on how to do it. Giveaway time, guys. I want to remind you, because I didn't talk about it enough. But if you share the show, if you share the live stream and I see you sharing the live stream, I'm going to share with you the script I made. It took me tens of hours to perfect it. Trials and errors, getting punched on the face by customers and people like, yeah, man, what the hell are you saying? And I spent thousands in order to get the right information and to make sure that I got the right thing to deliver a great sales experience for the customer and that you get the great results for you. So if you're interested in something like this, just share the show. That's 2 buttons that you gotta click, man. 2 buttons for getting thousands and thousands and thousands, and sometimes millions for some of you. So share that stream, guys. Okay, right now, I want to share with you the top 3 secrets that will change your sales today. Today, not tomorrow, today. That's powerful. That's something that you don't need to like, okay, I gotta get used to that thing. No, that's something that's right now, you can take off that video, that article, whatever you're reading, listening to, and you can get some results right now. How cool is that? Let's go right in. Secret number 1. follow up like a maniac, as I told you guys, because let me tell you something. If you do not hit with frequency, you are not gonna get the results that you hope for. I'm gonna repeat and hammer that stat in your head again and again. 80% of the sales come between the 5th and the 12th contact. The 5th and the 12th. And most people, I think it's 68% of the salespeople don't call somebody more than two times. You got a huge opportunity. Eat with frequency. If you gotta call the person 5 times in a day, do it. It's every day. Every day you gotta hit that person. Hey man, just sending you a text, just sending you this. Saw that thing, hope you like it. Do some wafu. I don't know how you guys in English call it because I'm a dumb French person. No, just kidding. But wafu is value add follow-up. That's what I told you about. It's not just calling about the deal, but sharing an article, sharing a great video that you saw. You published a piece of content that's inspiring. Hey man, happy Monday. Just want to share you a quick piece of content that I made to give you some inspiration. Have a great one. Boom, that's a follow-up. And nobody is doing something like this. So people are going to appreciate that even more. And as I told you, creativity. You need to make sure that you do not send the same text message twice, you know? You need to have a system, to have a calendar, like, okay, today I'm going to do that, today I'm going to do this, tomorrow I'm going to send you a video. And you got to change the ways you're using in order to maximize your results with great follow-up. So, secret number 2, use third-party touch. What is third-party touch? And I'm nice, guys, and I just share with you the scripts that I use personally if I want to do a third-party touch. So what is a third-party touch? For example, first, when should you use it? Let's say that somebody just hang up on you. And you can really fix that with handling an objection, you know. The only solution you got is to call them back. That's the only solution. So, what you can say is, hey, my guy X called you, and you hang up. And I want to know if he didn't do anything wrong. Because oftentimes people are close, they have an automatic defense mechanism. They just don't want to talk to salespeople or telemarketer. And if you're alone and you're working solo, you're a solopreneur, that's not an excuse. You can take another voice like, hey man, oh, he's just hang up on me. Now I'm Larry. Hey man, this is Larry, and I just want, my guy Gabriel called you and hang up on you. And what's to know if he didn't do anything wrong, man? What's going on? And that's a third-party touch, because right now they're going to be like, oh man, no, he didn't do anything wrong. It's just not the time, I'm busy. And then you can go to the call and be like, okay, you can handle and actually talk to the person right now. You see? And if your example, it's great to do a follow-up on a deal. That's a great follow-up. The second one, hey, this is Gabriel. I've got 2 questions. Do you have 30 seconds? Hey, Gabriel wanted me to call you and find out why we haven't earned your business yet. That's also a great way to follow up. That's a great way to do things. And if you use that, you will be able to go through the barrier of people just hanging up on you or not responding, things like that. Ask our questions and make sure you go directly to the point. Secrets number 2, 100% write up. Write up 100%, man. What does that mean? I'm just going to share with you that one line. And for those who cannot see the line, it says, you can't buy if they don't give you numbers. 3 exclamation points. You can't buy if they don't give you numbers. What does that mean? Man, have you ever went to Home Depot to, I don't know, whatever line you're using to buy some things, and bought something with a price that's non-listed on it? You won't just like man, and how frustrating is it when you go on a website and you realize, man, the price is not listing. I gotta call some people. I don't want to do that. Like, raise your hand if you want to call somebody. Get a price. I'm sure nobody raised your hand. are you doing that with your customers? Why are you waiting for the end of a presentation to give a price? Why? Yeah, man, because the real reason you don't want to do it because you are not comfortable handling the objection that's going to go through if you tell it in the first way, in the first place. And let me tell you what happens if you not do it. You're going to basically build some value for the person that you are talking about, and they are going to, because you didn't say a price, they're going to make like, okay, this seems to be worth that much. And then they're going to tell you a crazy thing that you're like, oh man, that's not the price. The real price is like, and then they're going to be like, ah, because they really had some time to at least guess, because they need a number to wrap the value around. They had some time to guess, okay, what should that be? What should I say? Like, what's the price? Should I buy it or not? And if you do that first, you say, before I show you the value of my product, I want to tell you the price. It's X. Then they're going to be like, oh man, that's too much. Oftentimes they're going to be like that. Then you just got to handle it. And then you go to your presentation. But now they know the price. So they know, okay, I'm going to get all of that for that price. And they don't build some kind of a price in their mind with something that's wrong, and you do not feel like, oh, I gotta drop this thing that I've got the catch in the bag, I'm gonna drop that thing, and you're scared. You're like, okay, the price is, and you don't want to drop it because you feel uncomfortable, because you're like, man, I've got that one thing that I need to give them, and I don't want to. If you drop it in this first thing, the hardest thing is to getting comfortable with that. But if you write up every person that you talk to, you're gonna get much more certain, and then it opens the gates to close whenever you want, because now they have the price. And because I'm a nice guy, I want to share with you one secret. The full pipeline resolves everything. I struggle with that for many times, many years, I would say. It's been 3 years I'm being that thing right now. And if you feel rejections, it's because you don't have a big enough pipeline. If you have one appointment and you don't get the sale on that appointment, you're going to feel like, I don't feel good. I didn't get the money here. But if you get 10 appointments in that same day and you miss 4, you still got 6 orders that closed, that's pretty good. And then all of a sudden you feel good. Even if you miss 4 times more appointments than in the first situation, because you get a full pipeline. Get big problems. That's much more great. That's better. Now, I want to go on a little how to handle every objections that you receive. Because they throw so many things at you. Always I feel like, man, I've got 10 other things that they're giving me. And you feel like, okay, they have like 1,000 kind of objections that they can tell you. But that's not the case. And I don't really want to talk about the specific tactic on how to handle an objection. What I want to tell you is how to handle every objections that you are not being able to handle right now. Let's say that you're hearing an objections, that one you hear over and over again. For some of you, it may be like, hey man, I need to think about it. Or it may be the price is too high. Or maybe it's, we had a problem with COVID. Because of that, we're not going to do a deal. And if you get that objections, oftentimes, you got to really be aware of that. First, note it down. Okay, let's say I'm getting offer times, I need to think about it. Then ask yourself that question. When did you, the salesperson, yourself that's listening to this video, in your own life, used that same objections to not do a deal? And I'm sure this seems strange and like psychological thing, but I'm sure that if you go back and think about it, when was the last time that you actually thought about it and that you needed some time? Like, man, yeah, I remember that time I needed to buy a new PC, but I was like, man, mine is good. It's okay. I'm gonna wait and take some time. And you know why this magic thing is happening? Simple, because you have an agreement with that thing. Selling is really simple. Either you get your way and you sold the other person on what you wanted, or they get their way and they sold you about what they wanted to sell you, which is not doing the deal sometimes. And you bought what they sold you because you believe in it. So if you make sure that you handle yourself on understanding that, okay, man, I oftentimes want to think about it. If you handle that in your life, you will much more be able to spot it and handle it whenever it comes at you. How good is that? Great. Let's go to the next one. First, giveaway. I always forgot about that giveaway, but guys, it's so much value for you. So much. You know what? You're gonna get the scripts I use for getting customers. I would say I spent around 2 years, tens of hours refining it and making it as perfect as possible. And I spent thousands of dollars to build that. So make sure you get it. It only takes you to share the stream. 2 buttons, 2 clicks, and you get the perfect sales system. I'm going to also tell you what goes around it because I'm going to give you the skeleton, the structure. But then I'm going to put some muscle, some skin around that, and I'm going to share that with you. You just got to share the stream, excuse me, and I'm going to take care of the rest. Next. Oh, I'm going to go back. Final thoughts. I want to close on that show, how to maximize your sales, telling you a few things. First, you need to make sure that you maximize every opportunity to maximize your sales. As I talked about with Jose, if you have some incoming calls that are coming your way, if you have anything that you're missing, it's an opportunity, you need to make sure you grab it. And you got many ways to maximize your sales process. Take notes on the few ones you can do. Number one, you can increase the follow-up. Number two, at least a better follow-up. Number two, you can increase your closing capacities, your closing skills. Number three, you can get better at sales. 4, you can get better at getting appointments. And you can get better at handling objections. You can get better at many other things. Marketing, so you can get more people in your pipeline that you can sell. The thing is, as I am doing right now, you need to be accountable and take full responsibility for the whole process. That means that don't say, oh, that's not up to me. That's not somebody else is going to take care of it. Or, that marketer is not bringing us some great leads. He's bad. Take full responsibility. Take extreme ownership of the situation, of the whole process. Because when you do that, you are in control of the situation and you can be the solution. Even if you're the problem, even if you figure out like, man, that marketer is getting us some good leads, I can do a better job at selling. You're the problem, but because you took ownership, you're also the solution. And that's the best way to be in. Like I didn't want to just do a great Facebook ad for some people and be like, okay, there you go. And then if they don't have a great sales funnel, or if they don't have a great email marketing strategy, if they don't have a great sales process, way to communicate through video, you're not going to get the results that you want. So I took full responsibility, full ownership of that situation, that whole thing. And I decided to maximize the results of my customers. And all of a sudden, I went from being just an online marketer to somebody that can actually give some awesome results to your business. Guys, I want to close on the giveaway. Just, guys, if you did share the stream, like, send me a DM on Instagram at Gabriel Juliet, and I'm going to send you my personal script that I spent thousands of dollars and tens of hours, plus 2 years of actually searching the right information, and tens of hours to refining it and make sure it's perfect and great. I'm going to give you that for free. Just send me a DM at Gabriel Juliet if you did share the stream. And guys, that's all for me. I hope I see you on the next one. Have a great, great, great day. See you guys.